dedication. And the question is, what do you know about water?
For those who do not know about water, this may freak you out. Veda Austin has stumbled upon some pretty wild stuff. She let salt water evaporate in a petri dish with a pyramid in it, and the salt water crystallized into little mini pyramids. Now to test this, she used the same salt water and let it evaporate without the pyramid, and it formed its normal cubical shape. Now water is pretty unique in the universe. If you get it in your car motor, it'll lock it up and bend all the metal, and it's also how we turn turbines in coal plants. It exists in all 3 states on the planet, and it is a very powerful solvent. Its molecules are shaped like hexagons, and we see this when it freezes. This means that anything that is dissolved in it can be stored in it, which is why you should always filter and realign your water if you can. I've shown you through cymatics that your DNA also shares this same shape, and using cymatics we can read it like a song. If Veda left this in a quiet room, it's probably resonating at the Schumann resonance, about 7 hertz, the resonance of the planet. When that crystal vibrates, it transmits that vibration to the salt crystals via the water. There's a fantastic research paper on this by Hal Science. They transmitted an entire genetic sequence through water using 7 hertz. They put 2 beakers of water next to each other, one was pure water, one was DNA. They then subjected them both to 7 hertz and waited 18 hours. After using a polymerase reaction, they recreated the DNA. If that wasn't enough, a team of researchers made a hard drive using the same technique. It stored the data of 2 trillion CDs in a gram, and it read it 10,000 times faster.
But I think we need to kind of simplify things.
Don't worry about making mistakes. Mistakes happen to everybody. Everybody makes a mistake. You're not special because you make a mistake. There's no big deal to making a mistake. It's all in the recovery. It's all in the recovery. Most people don't recover from a mistake. If you want to differentiate yourself, get the blessing of the lesson, get up and move on.
Can I make this make more sense to you
Yes.
and everyone? Healing is actually quite simple. It is nothing more than to experience the opposite. I know, like, sometimes we'll come to these seminars, for example, and it's like there's a lot of confusion around how do we get to a space of healing about a specific subject. It's a lot easier when you understand what healing is. So you say, okay, abuse, being treated in a poor way. What is healing? Being treated in the opposite way. Right? You break a bone. Bone is broken. What is healing? Put the bone back together. It's literally just nothing but the opposite. So if you make it that simple, you have your recipe for what it is you need. Then it's about what thoughts, words, and actions do I take to get in that direction.
I'm having one of those nightmares. Dude, he's ready to go. I'm ready, buddy. Should we form a new band? Sorry, Kyle. Upgrade.
I'm old enough to face the dawn. Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek before you leave me.
Toda persona tiene su forma de amar, pero pocas con amor y solo queda soñar. Lo que daría por llenar este lugar con el tacto de una flor y la música del mar. Cuánto nada cuesta tanto como tener el cielo entre mis manos y no ver a quién se va.
Some people were making fun of that guy, but if you've ever trained martial arts, you know that he has real skills. The real life Kung Fu Panda.
Who else remembers when Eddie Murphy teamed up with Rick James to create one of the most random songs of the 1980s? Party All the Time is a song by Eddie Murphy that came out in 1985, and the whole reason it happened in the first place is because Richard Pryor bet Eddie Murphy that he had no singing talent. One day while visiting Rick James in Buffalo, they ended up snowed in, so they decided to get to work on some songs, and one of those songs just happened to be
Girl, I can't understand it. Why you wanna hurt me? After all of the things I've done for you, I buy you champagne and roses, put diamonds on your finger. Diamonds on your finger. Still you hang out all night. What am I to do? My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time. She parties all the time.
I was on my way home from work, and Beyonce album had come out, and that was one of my favorite songs. And so I just was like jamming in the car.
Me wanna smash, I just write another one. I sneezed on the beat and the beat got sicko.
Exhibit A, Exhibit B. So this means it's going to be a fantastic commercial.
You just did it.
Yeah.
Are you proud of it now?
Well, I mean, people like it. People do like it.
I have like a rule in my life. If you work with me, if you work for me, I think it's important to have integrity in your work and do what you do. But at the end, once it's done, I can't control if the people like it, love it, where it charts, how many things it sells. I don't want to know, because if it's shitty, well, that sucks.
But I think we need to kind of simplify things. This is why I didn't sleep last night. This is why I slept at 5:30 in the morning.
Today is difficult. Tomorrow is much more difficult. The day after tomorrow is beautiful. Most people die tomorrow evening.
With that is there's an exercise at CIA that they put us through called the 4 temperaments, and they break these 4 temperaments down into 4 different animal categories, basically. So the 4 animal categories are lions, foxes, cheetahs, and bears.
Interesting.
Right?
Tell me more.
So your lions are people who have a temperament to organize. Your foxes are people who have a temperament to create ideas, to create. Your cheetahs are people who have a temperament to take action, and your bears are people who have a temperament to build relationships. So
why those animals? None of those seem self-evident to me,
I don't know
other
why.
than the cheetah.
The fox is also relatively clever,
fair.
right? I don't know why. I was just taught, and I just do what I'm told.
Yep.
So what ends up happening is you ask in a high-performance team. A high-performance team is a 4-block team, right? If you can imagine a square with 4 blocks inside it, and each of those blocks is representative of one of those animal temperaments. You need each of them in a high-performing team. You can have a good team that doesn't have all 4, but if you want a truly high-performance team, you need all 4 present. Somebody to organize, someone to create ideas, someone to build the relationships, someone to execute. When you are looking to source somebody into HR, you already know who you're looking for. We need bears. We need cheetahs. We need lions. We need foxes. You should already know, because you can run the temperament of your existing staff. And if you want to build a high-performance team, you need all 4 blocks present, so you just find the missing block, and then you start sourcing for that. The questions that you want to ask questions that disarm the person interviewing. Because guess what? Every person you interview is in what stage of their life. If you want to see how they actually behave, you can't ask them questions about the job. You also can't ask them questions that go against HR policy, federal policy about what you do in an interview. So you have to ask these elicitation questions, these parallel questions. And a question like, how would you plan your perfect vacation, is completely disarming to somebody. So if they say, well, the first thing I would do is I would make a list of all the places I want to go and how much it costs to be there, and what the high season and low season is. Now you're talking to a lion. Lions want to organize. right? If you talk to somebody, what's your ideal vacation? Oh man, I'm just going to jump on the next plane to Fiji. You know, you're talking to a cheetah. Cheetah just wants to take action. What the hell are you going to do when you get to Fiji? I have no idea, but I'm on the next plane, right? If you ask somebody what they're going to do for their ideal vacation and they come back and they're like, you know, I've thought about this a lot and I'm either going to Antarctica or I'm going to Africa or I'm going to, you know, Saudi Arabia because there's all this cool stuff going on in all three places and they've got fantastic reviews. You know, you're talking to a fox because a fox is full of ideas. And if you ask somebody, where are you going on your perfect vacation? I'm going to go anywhere my husband wants to go. I'll go wherever my best friend takes me. You know, you're talking to a bear.
You're going to realize it one day. That happiness was never about your job or your degree or being in a relationship. Happiness was never about following in the footsteps of all of those who came before you. It was never about being like the others. One day you're going to see it. That happiness was always about the discovery, the hope, the listening to your heart, and following it wherever it chose to go. Happiness was always about being kinder to yourself. It was always about embracing the person you were becoming. One day you will understand that happiness was always about learning how to live with yourself, that your happiness was never in the hands of others. One day you will realize that true happiness comes from within, and no external factors can define it. It was always about
Go for Morty!
Hi, Morty. It's Jessica. Look, can we just talk for a minute?
Is that how long it takes for Rick to trace my location?
Come back, Morty. I miss you.
You miss the old me. You miss someone that loved you so much you never had to love him back.
How do you know I don't want to love you?
Because I'm not sick.
But if you just believe, there's nowhere we can fall.
Well, I learned to realize that a change can only come when we
Stand together as one. We are the world. We are the children.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting.
Of all the warlords loved by the gods, I hate him the most.